Lightning and thunder boom as storm rages outside. A shadowy figure walks across the great hall. A bolt of lightning reveals the face of Wadsworth the butler. Yvette, the charming French maid, and the diabolical cook enter as Yvette switches on the lights.
Monsieur, why are you standing here in the dark? You frightened us half to death.
Well, I wouldn't want to frighten anyone to death, would I? There are so many more interesting ways to die. Yvette, cook, is everything ready?
Oui, monsieur.
You have your instructions?
You want I should feed the dogs before the guests arrive?
No. I want them hungry. Cook, dinner will be served at 7:30.
Sharp.
My apologies, gentlemen. I've been awfully rude. You see, you have no idea why you're here, do you? It is the job of the butler to make sure that everybody's comfortable. And from the looks on your faces, I'd venture to say you haven't a clue. Well, you needn't worry. We're not in this alone. We're all in this together.
A bolt of lightning reveals a dead body on the balcony.
Apart from that one. At any rate, not to fear if I've done my calculations correctly. The guests should be on their way. Don't be alarmed. It's just the maid in the hall with a champagne cork. Time to meet our guests.
Our attention moves to the front door of the great hall as the guests begin to arrive.
Right on time. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm not sure if I'm in the right place.
Yes,
or
indeed,
not,
sir.
but-
You are expected, Colonel. May I take your coat? It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. My name is Colonel.
Pardon me, sir, but tonight you might feel well obliged to my employer for the use of a pseudonym.
Oh, thank you. I took an antihistamine before I came.
Yes. Yvette, will you attend to the Colonel and give him anything he requires?
Oui, monsieur.
Within reason, of course.
You spoil all my fun.
Ah. Do come in, madam. You are expected.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you are to be known as Mrs. White.
Ironic, isn't it? The letter I received said I should refer to myself as such. But why?
May I introduce you, Mrs. White? This is the maid, Yvette.
The women flinch in disgust.
Oh, I see you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen this woman before in my life.
Behold, said the Lord, I'm sending forth the flood of waters to destroy all flesh.
Bonjour, madame.
Speaking of flesh,
Mrs. Peacock, I presume.
Book.
cook,
Look! Oh, you two know each other.
don't be ridiculous. I've never seen this woman before in my life.
The women quickly turn away from each other.
Who are you?
Hold that thought. Oh, you must be Mr. Green.
Yes, is this the right address to meet Mr. Body?
Yes. Sit!
Green frantically sits on the love seat.
No, not you, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm rather clumsy at parties.
Mr. Green, you might want to set up work and I'll see you. Not to worry, sir.
I'm sorry, do you have a cat around here? I'm afraid I'm highly allergic.
Well, you could give him a pseudonym. It clears it right up.
Cook, coat.
Indeed.
As a bolt of lightning crashes, Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum burst through the front door. Professor Plum straightens his jacket.
Greetings, all. It's a pleasure for you to see me.
Ah, Professor Plum, Ms. Scarlet. I didn't realize you two were acquainted.
We weren't. My car broke down and this professor gave me a ride.
Oh, naughty, naughty, Miss Scarlet. And the party's barely begun. Ooh, cocktail hour. I only drink on 2 occasions, day and night.
Good Lord, this really is a party. Jesus Christ, what is this godforsaken place anyway?
Oh, thank you to keep our Lord Jesus Christ out of it.
This old place. Well, this is Body Manor. Cook, dinner?
Directly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all met. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Wadsworth the butler. You may realize that tonight nobody is using their real names. I suggest you refrain from revealing too much about yourselves this evening. Dinner.
I haven't even finished my champagne.
That was more like a cocktail minute.
You really ought to keep her waiting. Cook can get cranky. Please follow me. The dining room is right this way.
They all move to the dining room.
Colonel Mustard, Mrs. White, Mrs. Peacock, Mr. Green, Ms. Scarlet, Professor Plum. You'll find your names by your places. Please be seated.
Oh, I do see my name. Oh, Mr. Green, you're sitting next to me.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Oh, this is lovely setup. Oh,
Right
yes.
in the middle of 2 lovely ladies.
Me too.
Oh, goodness.
Dinner is served.
What's this all about, Butler? This is dinner party.
All in good time, madam. Excuse me if you will.
Shark's fin soup.
Oh, my favorite.
Bon appetit.
I say we eat it while it's hot.
I like things hot.
But isn't soup supposed to be hot?
Thank you, Lord, for this meal we are about to receive, and to the gracious host, whomever he is, that has brought us here tonight.
Maybe the host isn't here because the host is dead.
I'm feeling awfully anxious here.
Oh. Oh my, he's choking. Oh my. Oh, do something.
Hey, help him. Does anyone know what to do?
Oh no.
Oh. Oh.
Well, I guess I'll break the ice. I mean, I'm used to being the hostess. It's part of my husband's work. Plus, I always host a ladies group for my church on Sundays. It can be difficult when a group of new friends get together for the very first time, so I'll get the ball rolling. I mean, I have no idea what we're doing here, but oh my, this soup's delicious, isn't it?
I think hosting parties is deathly boring.
Well, it's an integral part of my life as the wife of a, oh, I forgot. we're not supposed to say who we really are.
I know who you are.
How do you know who I am?
I work in Washington too.
Oh, so you're a politician's wife.
Yes, I am.
So, who is your husband? Maybe I know him.
Mrs. White, what does your husband do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, he just lies around on his back all day.
Sounds like hard work to me.
Oh, goodness.
He lies around on his back all day because he's no longer living.
Why? So what do you do in Washington, Mr. Green?
I'd rather not say. I like to follow the rules.
Come on. How are we supposed to get acquainted if we don't say anything about ourselves? No judgment here. We're all God's children.
I don't believe in God.
Well, if I wasn't trying to keep this conversation going, we'd all be sitting here in embarrassed silence.
In my professional opinion,
Oh, yes.
it sounds like you have a case of fear of silence-itis.
Oh.
Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
I know a little bit about psychological medicine, yes.
And do you practice?
Not anymore. I currently work for the government.
Another politician.
Oh, no, not exactly. I do research for the Office of Social and Behavioral Studies. In other words, I study crazy, and I'm good at it.
No, it sounds fascinating.
Oh, thank you, Colonel. You are a real colonel, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, sir.
Aren't you going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C.?
And how did you know that?
Oh, I've seen you before.
So, Miss Scarlett, is that how you know the Colonel? Did you live in Washington too?
I do everything in Washington, Mr. Green.
Does anyone here not live in Washington, D.C.?
Wadsworth, we've had about enough of this. Where's our host and why have we been brought here?
Do pardon me.
Wadsworth leaves. The guests rush to the door as they try to hear Wadsworth in the hallway.
Good evening, sir. You are eagerly awaited.
Thank you, Wadsworth. It's good to be home. Are the guests all here?
In the dining room, sir.
Right on schedule. I'll meet you in the study then, as planned.
May I take your bag, sir?
No, Wadsworth, I'll keep them with me.
Oh, they contain more evidence, I assume.
Never assume, Wadsworth. It's much more fun to be surprised.
The guests scramble back to their seats as Wadsworth re-enters the dining room.
Oh, for God's sakes, I demand to know what's going on.
Right. I believe you've all received a letter, yes?
Yes.
Yes, I
While
did.
we're here.
I
And do
did.
you each have them with you?
Yes.
Yes. The message said to.
Am I correct that each of your letters advised you to be present here this evening because a certain Mr. Body has offered to bring an end to a long-standing, a confidential, and painful financial liability?
That's what my
Yeah,
letter
that's right.
says.
Yes.
Well, mine says as
Oh
well.
my goodness.
May I interest any of you in some fruit or some dessert, perhaps?
No.
No.
In that case, may I suggest we adjourn to the study for coffee and brandy, at which point I believe your letters will be addressed and the game will be afoot.
Ooh. Brandy and games.
Game
We now move to the study.
talking about.
Yvette stands by her cart, passing out brandies to Mustard, Plum, and Scarlet.
Thank you, Yvette. That will be all.
Well, where's our host?
He's not here. Nobody's here. What is happening?
Please, Mrs. Peacock, have a drink.
My lips belong to the Lord.
Well, mine don't. Mind if I smoke?
As Professor Plum lights Miss Scarlet's cigarette, Colonel Mustard reads an envelope on the side table.
For Wadsworth. Open after dinner. It's for you.
Wadsworth opens the envelope and quickly reads it.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
I'm sorry. There really has to be a cat around here somewhere.
Right, then, are you comfortable?
Well, I make a good living.
Out with it, Wadsworth.
Ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are clear. It seems the six of you have one thing in common. You're all being blackmailed. For some considerable time now, all of you have been paying what you can afford. And in some cases, Professor Plum, more than you can afford, to a certain someone who threatens to expose you.
Please. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Nobody could blackmail me. I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, lady, don't we all?
Anybody else wish to deny it? Right. Until tonight, none of you knew who was blackmailing. I hope I'm correct that the more deductive among you have reasoned in the last several moments that it was in fact Mr. Body himself, and that the least discerning members of our cadre are experiencing that particular revelation right about
It was Mr. Body.
now.
I have half a mind to call my congressman. I cannot believe
I've married 5 husbands. Don't you
What are
think
you,
I
his
can
henchman? You
Or
accomplished British.
My task this evening is to expose your secrets to each other, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
Don't you think you might spare us this humiliation?
I'm sorry, madam, but I do have my orders. We'll start with you, Professor Plum.
Lucky you.
Luck's got nothing to do with it.
You were once a respected professor of psychiatry specializing in helping lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Well, yes, but now I work for the government.
So your work has not changed. But you cannot practice medicine anymore because your license has been, how they say, lifted, correct?
Why? What did he do?
Well, you know what male doctors are not supposed to do with their lady patients.
Yeah.
Well, he did.
She couldn't help falling in love with me. It's not my fault I was born this attractive.
Oh, how disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock? How then do you justify taking bribes in return for delivering Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There's nothing sinful about that.
Not if it's publicly declared, I suppose, but isn't it a sin of certain lobbyists of slipping payments to a sneaky senator's wife under the stall of the men's room at the old Abbott's Grill? How would you describe that particular transaction?
Oh,
I'd say it stinks.
when were you in that men's room?
Ah, so it's true.
No, it's a vicious lie.
But you've been paying the blackmailer for over a year now to keep that story out of the papers.
Well, I'm willing to believe you. I too am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
Oh,
Me too.
And me. Ah, yes.
Not me.
But you're not being blackmailed.
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
What did you do?
Well, I run a specialized service which provides gentlemen with the company of young women.
an escort service in Washington, D.C.
How pathetic. A man who needs to pay women to spend time with him. Oh, that's a problem I'll never have to worry about.
Is that how you knew the Colonel works in Washington? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not. No.
I was asking Miss Scarlet.
Well, you tell him it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
So it is true.
A double negative.
Double negative? You mean you have photographs?
That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, the double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid you've given yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of all these people?
Oh, you don't need my help for that, sir.
Certainly not. Oh,
Colonel,
that's
you
right.
hold a sensitive security post at the Pentagon. Those negatives would most certainly compromise your position.
Oh, and what position was it that you were caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage.
Mrs. White, you've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Well, I didn't kill him.
So then why are you paying the blackmailer?
I don't want a scandal. We had a very humiliating public confrontation. He was deranged, a lunatic. I don't actually think he liked me very much. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he want to kill you in public?
No, I believe she meant he threatened in public to kill her. Yes.
And that was his final word on the matter?
Being killed is pretty final, wouldn't you say?
And yet he was the one who died. Not you, Mrs. White. Not you.
Well, what did the poor chap do for a living?
He was a scientist, nuclear physics.
What was he like?
He was a stupidly optimistic man. I'm afraid it came as quite of a shock to him when he died. But he was found dead at home. He was unclothed. His head had been cut off, and so had his.
Oh,
But I had been out all evening at the movies.
What was showing?
The Naked Alibi.
A likely story.
Do you miss him?
Well, it's a matter of life after death. Now that he's dead, I have a life.
He was your second husband. Your first husband also disappeared, eh?
Well, that was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never reappeared, did he?
He wasn't a very good illusionist. Now, my third husband, I miss him the most. He was an electrician. Till he was electrocuted.
Yes. And lastly, Mr. Green, who is a homosexual.
not me.
I beg your pardon.
You asked who, and I said, not me.
I'm saying you're an idiot.
Yes.
Wadsworth here is right. I am a homosexual. I don't feel any personal shame or guilt about it. I have to keep it a secret or I'll lose my job on security grounds. Even though we all know that that's a ridiculous thought, because being a homosexual it's not a choice. It's a genetic predisposition. Thank you.
Very good.
Gesundheit.
Well, all right then, Wadsworth. You've spilled our beans. Now what?
Where's this Mr. Body?
And what does he want from us?
Who cares? I'm not waiting to find out. I've done nothing wrong. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry, madam. You may stay in denial if you wish, but you cannot leave this house.
I am the wife of the great senator from Tennessee. You can't tell me what to do.
Oh, yes, well, yeah.
Peacock tries to open the study door and finds it locked.
Locked.
Locked?
Indeed. All the doors are locked. The windows are barred and the grounds are patrolled by vicious dogs. There's no way out.
This is
How dare you keep us hostage here against our will?
No right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Unacceptable
allow me
hostage.
to introduce Mr. Body. Your
Mr.
host,
Body moves out of the dark corner.
terribly sorry, your host for the evening and your blackmailer for life.
How do you do?
I thought millionaires were supposed to be
Typical man.
good looking.
You're better off dead.
Mrs. White rushes forward and knees Mr. Body in the groin. Mr. Body falls to the floor, but slowly regains his feet.
Ooh, Mrs. White in the study with her knee.
Pardon me, everybody, but there's one more piece of information you might not like to have.
What?
What?
The police are coming.
What? Why?
Hey, what were you talking about? What are you going to tell us about this?
Why are the police coming? When are the police coming?
In less than an hour, the police will arrive. The bridge washed out from the rain. They're expecting to find one mastermind, and the criminals he's detained.
That's us.
Well,
He's made it quite clear that there's evidence here, and that they have much to gain.
oh,
Oh, no.
Unless
Unless
what?
you agree to double down.
Double what?
You each pay me twice what you've been paying, and I'll tell the police it was a phony call and send them on their way. You refuse, and I put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings in the hands of the police and the press. I believe some of you would face a lifetime of jail and others a lifetime of shame.
That's why you've brought us here?
I can't believe that you would do that to us. I'm a God-fearing woman.
Unless,
What?
well, there is something else you could do for me. One little favor that would change the game. Something I just can't bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please.
Oh, thank you.
What's this all about, sir?
In this bag, there are 6 gifts I've brought you from Washington. Things I thought you might find useful this evening.
Body opens a duffel bag and hands out 6 gift wrap packages to each guest.
Open them.
Why not? I enjoy getting presents from strange men.
Oh, goodness.
A candlestick? What's this for?
A wrench?
A lead pipe?
A dagger.
A revolver?
It's a snake. Oh, it's a snake. Oh, it's a rope.
Good.
In your hands, you each have a lethal weapon. You all showed up here tonight because you believe that the evidence against you is so terrible that you would do almost anything to keep it a secret. I'm putting that theory to the test. Mr. Wadsworth here is the only other person who knows your secrets, and it's costing me and you dearly to keep him quiet. You see, I wouldn't have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Mr. Wadsworth for his silence.
Mr. Wadsworth?
That's a lie.
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you, sir.
but really he's conniving and manipulative.
False.
Why do you think he's called the police?
You called the police?
Only because he instructed me to do so.
Did I? Or did Mr. Wadsworth call the police here himself so that he could carry out his greedy threat? Pay him more, or he reveals us and all our questionably legal behavior to the police.
Would never.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to somehow get rid of Mr. Wadsworth, I'll have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to the police. As a matter of truth, if you can somehow help me eliminate Mr. Wadsworth, who not only knows all of your secrets, but also mine, perhaps I can find it in my heart to eliminate your blackmail altogether and be done with this terrible business once and for all.
You would never.
Well, why us, Spotty? I mean, why don't you do your dirty work yourself?
Well, why should I when the six of you are so uniquely motivated?
After all I've done for you, this is how you repay me. Oh, don't listen to him. He's a liar. He's been blackmailing me all along with the rest of you.
Oh, yeah? What did you do?
That's neither here nor there. The point is, I'm not a butler. I'm an indentured servant.
Don't make a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way, ladies and gentlemen. Now's your chance. Kill Wadsworth and end your blackmail forever.
The lights go out. There's the screams. As the lights return, they see Mr. Body laying on the floor with a brandy goblet clutched in his hand.
Oh no, Mr. Body.
Oh, thank God.
Is he breathing?
Everyone, stand back. He's dead.
Who had the gun?
I did.
So you shot him.
I didn't.
But if you had the gun, who did?
Somebody grabbed it from my hand. And the next thing I know, the gun went off.
There's no gunshot wound.
He's right. There's not.
Oh, well, look, there's a bullet lodged here.
So how did he die?
I don't know. Being unbearably handsome doesn't make me a forensic expert.
One of us must have killed him.
I didn't do it.
I need a drink.
Peacock goes to Body's body and pries the goblet from his dead hand.
Go, 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 go,
Oh,
go, go.
maybe he was poisoned. The brandy.
Mrs. Green, it's all right. It's all right.
After several minutes of screaming, Mr. Green slaps Mrs. Peacock.
I had to stop the screaming.
Well, was the brandy poisoned?
Oh, yes.
Looks like we'll never know.
Oh, no.
Unless she dies too.
Oh. Wait for me.
They all rush out. Outside the billiard room,
It's locked. Who's in there? Who's screaming?
Someone?
Yvette, is that you?
Oui.
Yvette, are you all right?
No.
Yvette, are you alive?
Yvette opens the door.
Of course I'm alive. No, this to you, Wadsworth, you idiot. You locked us up in this house with a murder.
So the murderer is here.
Oui.
Where?
Where? Here. We are all looking at him.
Peacock enters out of breath.
Or her.
What took you so long?
Oh, I am an old one in an aggravated state of shock. It's amazing I am anywhere.
I heard you in this study. One of you is the killer.
But how did you hear us in the study?
I was listening. Monsieur Body asked me to tape record your conversation. I had a tape recorder in the billiard room.
But why would he ask you to record our conversations?
For more evidence, of course. When Wadsworth revealed your secrets in the study, they were all recorded.
What a snake! I've got to destroy them. Where are those tapes?
The tapes? What about the body?
What body?
Body.
But Yvette, why were you screaming in here all by yourself?
Because I was frightened. I also drank the cognac. Maybe I am poisoned too. Mon Dieu, I can't stay in there alone.
There. There's safety in numbers. Don't worry. I'll protect you. I'm very strong.
But one of you is the killer. Miss, your body is dead.
And we have to figure out which one of them did it.
What do you mean, which one of them?
I didn't do it.
Well, one of us did. We all had the opportunity and the motive. Mr. Body was a bully and a liar to us all. I would have killed him myself, but I didn't have access to a weapon. Only the 6 of you had the means to do it.
Well, don't look at me. All I got was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Well, who else could it have been?
Who else is in this house?
Only the
Only
cook.
the cook?
The
cook!
We now move to the kitchen.
The cook's not here.
The door to the freezer opens, and the cook's body tumbles onto Mr. Green as he falls to the floor under her weight.
I didn't do it. Somebody help me, please.
I think you'd better explain yourself, Wadsworth.
Me? Why me?
Who else would want to kill the cook?
Well, dinner wasn't that bad.
And how? How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
Some defense. If I were the killer, I'd kill you next. I said if, that's all. There's only one admitted killer here, and that's not me. It's Mrs. White.
Admitted nothing.
You paid the blackmail. How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women's?
Well, yours.
5.
5?
Good. Yes, just the 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if it wasn't you, who was it? Who had the dagger?
It was Mrs. Peacock.
Oh, but I put it down
Where?
in the study.
When?
I don't know. Before he slapped me, after I was assaulted, who knows? But any one of us could have picked it up. It must have been Mr. Green.
Where is Mr. Green?
From under the cook's body,
Can somebody help me, please?
Oh,
Here.
Help him up. Somebody help him up.
Oh,
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Captain, then might I suggest we take the cook's body into the study?
why?
Well, for starters, when the police arrive, if they find this, we'll all be in custody and under suspicion for murder.
Murder.
And secondly, I am the butler. I like to keep a tidy kitchen. So you two get the legs and you two get at the arms and just lift it up. Come on, Chip. Put
Give
your
the
backs
legs.
and
You
do
on
it.
one side. One side and everybody has the legs. Come on, let's go. Cowboy up.
Better
they
ways to
return
carry
to the
bodies.
study, but Body's body is gone.
The body's gone. There's no body.
Nobody. Mr. Body's body? It's gone.
Maybe he wasn't dead?
Oh, he was.
Well, where is he?
He couldn't have been dead.
He was. He was. Well, at least I thought he was.
Well, maybe there is life after death.
Yes.
Life after death is improbable as sex after marriage.
If you you'll excuse me, I need to use the, is there a little girl's room?
Oui, madame.
Oh, no, I just need to powder my nose.
There's a toilet in the billiard room.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Look, I don't mean to alarm anybody, but we do currently have the small issue of 2 dead bodies, one present and one missing, and the imminent arrival of the police, who, by my calculations, ought to be here in 37 minutes.
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that there is nobody else in this house?
No.
Then there is someone else in this house.
No, I'm sorry. I said no, meaning yes.
No, meaning yes. Look, I want a straight answer. Is there someone else in the house, yes or no?
No.
No, there is, or no, there isn't?
Yes.
There seems to be some confusion about whether or not we are all the only people in the house.
There isn't.
You mean there isn't any confusion, or there isn't anybody else?
Either, or both.
Just give me a clear answer.
Certainly. What was the question?
Is there anyone else in the house?
No.
That's what he says. But does he know? Look, we've got a killer and a missing dead body on the loose, one dead cook, and all these weapons. The rope, the dagger, the revolver, the candlestick, the wrench, and hey, where's the lead pipe?
Peacock stumbles into the room with Body's body hanging on her.
It's Mr. Body.
Oh,
He's attacking her.
oh my goodness, help me, help me.
No, he's not. He's dead.
Body? Dead? Again?
Oh my gosh. Oh. Ooh.
Somebody catch her.
Oh.
Wadsworth holds out his arms, but she crashes to the floor.
Oh, sorry.
Where did this happen, Mrs. Peacock?
In the bathroom. I opened the door and there he was. I thought he was attacking me. He lunged.
Dead people don't lunge.
Well, he's certainly dead now.
Oh,
Who would want to kill him twice?
It's what we call overkill.
oh my goodness.
And why?
But what's the difference?
Well, it makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We've got to find out who killed him, where, and with what.
Seems like it was probably the lead pipe.
No.
10 points, Professor Plum.
What kind of game are you playing, Wadsworth?
This isn't a game.
You! The lead pipe belonged to you!
It did, but I dropped it in the hallway when we ran from the kitchen with the cook's dead body.
So anyone could have picked it up.
There's no need to shout!
I'm not shouting. All right, I am. I'm shouting.
Hey, while you clowns lose your marbles, I'm over here trying to do something useful. Have you all forgotten about the evidence against us?
The
evidence.
Body's briefcase is locked.
Well, there must be a key.
The key. Mr. Green, would you be so kind as to check Mr. Body's pockets for the key to the briefcase, which contains the evidence to our past transgressions, so that we may destroy said evidence forever and free ourselves from any chance of future blackmail?
He's so bloody.
Oh, I'll do it. It won't be the first time I've had my hands on a stiff body.
Oh my.
It's not here.
It's not, I see. Hand me the wrench.
Oh, certainly.
He takes the wrench as Mustard opens the briefcase.
It's empty.
What do you mean? Empty.
Then where's all the evidence?
Ha! I told you Bonnie was a liar. Had the evidence in my briefcase, my foot.
Well then, where is it? What does he have on us? I can't stand all this uncertainty.
I can assure you that Mr. Body possesses, possessed individual files containing devastating, incriminating evidence against each one of us, kept in one large, beastly blackmail envelope marked confidential. But where that envelope is now and what precisely it contains, I cannot say. All I know is that if it's found, we're all goners.
We've got to find that evidence and destroy it.
Then we can put all this behind us and move on with our miserable lives.
Evidence aside, first things first. We're in a room with 2 dead bodies and 6 murderous weapons, and the cops are on their way.
Not to mention there's a homicidal maniac about. Look, let's put the weapons back in Body's bag and bring it to the broom closet.
Good idea.
As they run into the corridor, Wadsworth throws the bag into the closet.
There!
Wait, what are you going to do with the key to the closet, Wadsworth?
Well, I'll put it in my pocket.
But what if you're the murderer?
Well, I'm not.
But what if you are?
I have an idea. We'll throw it away.
Oh, that's an excellent
Yes,
idea.
I like that
We should
idea.
do that.
I like that one.
We now move to the great hall. Wadsworth opens the door and finds a motorist.
How do you do? Can we help?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb the whole household, but my car broke down out there, and I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Oh, one moment, please.
Let her in. We got
Very well. Would you care to come in?
Thank you. Well, where is it?
What? Body?
The phone. What body?
What? There's nobody. There's nobody. There's nobody in the study.
No!
But I do believe there's a phone in the lounge.
Thank you.
Right this way.
Wadsworth brings the motorist to the lounge door.
Right through this door. And when you've made your call, perhaps you'd be good enough to wait in there?
Certainly.
Yes. All right. Now listen. The police are on their way. I estimate in another 29 minutes or so. That gives us plenty of time.
To do what? Get killed?
Well, it's true we must identify the murderer, but my immediate concern is recovering that evidence.
But how?
I suggest we handle this in proper military fashion.
Oh, yeah.
We split up and search the house.
Split up?
Yes.
But one of us might run into the murderer.
Mon Dieu.
Then one of us will have discovered who the murderer is.
But then one of us will be dead.
Oh,
This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelet without breaking eggs. Every cook will tell you that.
true. Yes.
But look what happened to the cook.
Oh, yes. What was that?
Colonel, are you willing to take that chance?
Well, what choice do we have?
None.
I suppose you're right. Oh,
Gesundheit.
I swear to God, there's a cat around here somewhere.
All right, troops, divide and conquer.
And remember, no funny business. We must work together as a team. What am I saying? It's not like any of you would come upon the missing envelope and purposely hide it so you could clear yourself of blame and then turn around and blackmail the rest of us to secure yourself an unseemly and ungodly but substantial fortune.
Oh no, we would do something crazy
no.
like that.
I'm a God-fearing woman. I would never do that.
Why would you do that?
Good. Now, you'll know you found the dirt when you find the envelope marked confidential
That's essential.
and consequential.
Let's meet back here in 10 minutes.
But what if somebody doesn't come back?
Well, we'll remember you fondly.
The guests freeze.
Six suspects, 2 murders, and an envelope of damning hidden evidence somewhere in this house, with the police due in 25 minutes. We can't take any chances. My deepest apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Ushers, lock the doors. Lot of doors. Now we're all in this together.
The guests unfreeze. Now, they all search the house, and we see them stealing the confidential envelope from each other, back and forth across the stage, until finally, Mrs. Peacock takes it and hides it in a potted plant.
Very good. That's where. Just stay there. Oh, yes. We'll do just fine. Good. Yes.
Now, we see the motorist in the lounge as a dark figure emerges from the dark corner.
I'm a little nervous. I'm in this big house and I've been locked in the lounge. And the funny thing is, there's a whole group of people here having some sort of party. And one of them is me old boss from...
The motorist falls dead as the dark figure strikes a wrench. We now move to the conservatory with Scarlet and Colonel Mustard.
Where is it?
Where's what?
The evidence you snatched out of my hand, you idiot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Either give it up or I'll have you singing soprano.
All right. I snatched it, but someone snatched it from me.
Who?
Don't look at me.
I'm not looking at you.
Yes, you are. You're looking at me right now.
Hey, look, scarlet flowers. My favorite. Ooh, they smell divine. You know, if you rub the petals on your neck, the smell is irresistible. Oh my God, and garters.
Oh, come on. They're just a little flower. You don't have to get all emotional.
No, not the flower, Colonel Smarty Pants. A secret passage. Come on.
Ladies first.
Oh, how heroic.
They step into the passage and emerge in the lounge. The room is dark.
Where are we?
How should I know? The lights are off.
Well, turn them on.
I would if I could see anything.
Oh, well, here, maybe this will help.
Mustard turns on the lamp.
Oh.
The lounge. Of course. We forgot to look in the lounge.
Right, quite an oversight considering the dead motorist in the chair.
Dead motorist?
Dead motorist?
Ah! Help!
Murder!
Wadsworth and the guests appear on the other side of the lounge door.
Let us in!
Let us in! Let us in!
Let us out!
Let us out!
We can't let you out. The door is locked.
You had the key, Wadsworth. You locked the motorist in here.
Oh, that's right. I did. I do. I don't. The key is gone.
Gone?
Gone?
There's a murderer on the loose. Please get us out of here.
All right. There's no alternative. I'm going to have to break down the door. Everybody stand back.
He runs at
I have
full
an idea.
speed, but bounces off the door. Yvette runs in with a gun.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
I
Everyone
think they're
stand
done
back.
shooting. I think they're shooting at us.
You don't say, Sherlock.
Come out. The door is open. I'm done shooting.
Oh, my.
Maybe.
Well,
Oh,
why were you shooting at us?
Who opens the door?
But you could have killed us. I could have been killed. This is not a battlefield.
Well, la-di-da. Say, you're really something else, huh, Frenchie? Say, how did you get that revolver anyway?
The broom closet. It was unlocked.
unlocked?
Impossible. I have the key. Oh, no, I haven't. It's gone. Yes.
Gone?
I thought you said you were going to throw away the key to the broom closet, Wadsworth.
Well, I did say that. Only I didn't do that. We got distracted by the motorist at the door and I forgot. One of you must have snatched the keys from my pocket when we were searching the house.
So, whoever took the keys is the killer.
Precisely.
Oh, I am so smart. Sometimes I even impress myself.
Speaking of the killer, there's a dead body in the lounge, you know.
Again?
The motorist is dead.
It's true. Well, there are 3 unsolved murders.
Three?
Three.
Which one of you killed him?
We found him together.
The door was locked.
Great trick, getting through a locked door. My husband would have appreciated that.
He went through a secret passage from the conservatory to the lounge.
Who designed this place anyway?
Patrick and Preston Parker. The Parker brothers.
Oh,
Maybe they'll go away.
I'm going to open the door. It's the right thing to do.
Well, don't worry, it's not the police.
It's the police.
Oh,
Green
Oh, my.
opens the front door as a cop stands in the doorway.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We've been expecting you.
You have?
We haven't?
I was just passing through when I found an abandoned car near the gates of this house. Did a motorist happen to come here for help by any chance?
Oh,
No.
no, absolutely not.
No.
Actually, yes.
No.
No.
There seems to be some disagreement.
No, no, no,
No, no.
no.
Yes.
Can I come in and use the phone?
Of course you may, sir. There's a phone in the lounge.
Out of order.
Oh, of course. My mistake. You can use the phone in the study.
occupied.
If you please, I can take you to the phone in the library, so right this way.
You're all acting rather peculiar. What's going on in the lounge and the study?
Lounging and studying this way.
Let me have a look.
No, thank you.
What?
This way.
Actually, I'd like to take a look around if you don't mind.
Of course, officer. Follow me. I'll take you on a grand tour of Body Manor. The home was built by Lord
We've
Reginald
got to cover
Percy
our
in
tracks. We
1784.
can't get rid of the body, so
Lord's
we've got to
body
make
had
it
to
seem
declare
alive.
body.
Good idea.
They discovered an
Like that
antibody that would save everybody. And notice the mahogany floor. Did you know in the 17th century, the buccaneer John Esquemeling recorded the use of mahogany for the making of canoes? It's true. Do you? Can you?
What? Hey, where'd everybody go?
Who? Notice the brass doorknobs crafted specifically for Lord Body by his buddy in 1878, and they match.
I don't care about the doorknobs, mister. What's going on around here? What are you hiding in those 2 rooms?
Which 2 rooms?
The lounge and the study.
Oh, those 2 rooms.
Yes.
Officer, I don't think you ought to go in there.
Why not?
Well, because it's all too shocking, I think.
Yvette is dusting the armor while Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard are embracing the dead bodies.
Hello, officer. Welcome to the party.
It's not all that shocking. These folks are just having a good time. It's a free country.
Yes, I didn't know it was that free.
Why didn't you tell me this was a party?
Oh, my apologies, sir.
The cop moves to the other room and sees the dead motorist has a bottle in his hand while the others talk to him in drunken slurs.
Excuse me?
Evening, officer. How do you do?
Are these men drunk?
Dead drunk.
Want a sip?
No, I can't drink while on the job. The chief would kill me.
Killed you if you do, kill you if you didn't.
What?
Have a lovely evening, officer.
Same to you. Well, I don't know what you were so worried about. There's nothing illegal about any of this. Just make sure you don't let those fellas drive home drunk. Call them a car.
Yes, a long black car.
Terrific. Can I use your phone now?
Certainly. The library, officer.
Thank you.
All's clear. You can come out now. Well done, all of you.
Oh, good job. Way to go with that alcohol bottle, Green.
Very good, very good.
All right,
You
now,
really know how to
let's finish
party.
searching the manor. The police will be here in 17 minutes.
Oh, man. But the police already came.
Not the broken down car police, the criminal investigation police. We must find the evidence, and we can't afford to have any more murders.
A dark figure appears and pulls a lever, sending the room into darkness. We now see the cop in the library. At the same time, we see Yvette in the bedroom.
Hello? Is this phone working?
Hello? Hello?
It's me.
Oh, you scared me. I thought you was the killer.
Did somebody cut the line? Hello?
You that right.
A noose flies onto Yvette's neck.
Oh, good, you can hear me. There's something funny going on around here. The lights just went out and... You see, I found this abandoned car. You know that big mansion on top?
As the candlestick slices into the cop's head. In the great hall, Wadsworth finds the light switch and turns on the lights.
Oh, well, as much as I enjoy things that go bump in the dark.
Must have
And
been
the
a short.
Lord said,
now
let
fire
there
now.
be light.
Did the Lord happen to mention why the lights went out in the first place?
Oh.
Oh, who cares? We're still in the dark anyway. We're no closer to solving our murder mysteries or unearthing the evidence against us.
Shh. Do you hear that?
Telephone's off the hook.
It's coming from the library.
That must be where the killer is.
Guard me, I'm going in.
What are you afraid of?
A fate worse than death?
Oh, just us.
They all move into the library.
Excuse me, Mr. Cop. Do you need any assistance? A phone book, perhaps?
Hey. The butler asked you a question, copper. Hang up the phone already or I will.
As Peacock punches the cop, his head falls into her hands. They run about the house, but they all end up in the ballroom.
We should be safe here in the ballroom, everybody.
I'm going to open the drapes. Maybe we can escape through the window.
Oh,
Excellent idea.
That's a good idea. Let's make an escape. Let's get out of here.
Yvette falls from the ceiling with a rope around her neck. The singing telegram girl enters through the main door.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. I am your singing telegram.
Well, 3 murders in 3 minutes. That's our best record.
Oh, this is getting serious. 6 suspects, 6 murders. Mr. Body in the billiard room, the cook in the kitchen, the motorist in the lounge, the cop in the library, Yvette in the ballroom, and the singing telegram girl in the hall. Not to mention one confidential envelope of missing damning evidence. Our evening's guests might be gifted at breaking the law, but they clearly need help at breaking the case. So, who was the killer? I'm sure you all have your suspicions, but we've no time for that now. The police are nearly here. Very well. In order to figure out who the murderer is, I believe the best course of action is to start at the beginning. Sometimes the most obvious answers are right under our noses. Yeah.
I thought the cat was dead.
Yes, thank you, Colonel. So nice of you to join us. I shall take you through the events of the evening step by step. Now, stay with me. At the start of the evening, Yvette was here, waiting to offer you all a glass of champagne. The doorbell rang. It was you. I recognized you as Colonel Mustard. Yvette gave you a drink. Doorbell. Mrs. White, pale and tragic. I introduced her to Yvette. They both flinched. A rumble of thunder, a crash of lightning. Peacock, Green, Scarlet, Plum all arrived. That's when the cook banged the gong. We all adjourned to the dining room. You found your names by your places. Oh, shark fin soup, my favorite. And you'd had a letter, and you'd had a letter, and you'd had a letter, and everyone had a letter.
Get on with it. Get on with it.
All right. Then we all went to the study. Mr. Green gave you all gifts, and you opened them. Then Mr. Body switched off the lights.
As the lights go off, they come back on, but we see Wadsworth laying on the floor.
Oh, good. What's happened?
Did it happen again? How many
What-
Body lay on the floor, apparently dead, but he was
Dead?
dead. He was really alive, only we didn't know it. Next, Mrs. Peacock drank his drink. Glug, 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 glug. Mr. Green suggested to Green that the drink might be poisoned. I had to stop her screaming. Next, we heard screaming coming from Yvette. We ran to the billiard room. You locked me in with the murderer, you idiot! But one of us was not there.
Who?
Who?
It was Mrs. Peacock.
But I was there with the rest of you.
When we heard Yvette scream, we all ran from the study, but you lagged behind. I'm an old woman in an aggravated state of shock. It was the perfect time to commit murder. May I?
Oh, be my guest.
It was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger.
God forbid.
I found your feather in the freezer, and it was your dagger stabbed into the back of the cook.
Oh,
Oh, woman, I thought you liked her soup.
it was my favorite.
Then we ran to the kitchen. Mr. Green, you were under the cook's corpse for approximately 2 minutes and 57 seconds, while the rest of us never even realized you were missing. I suggested to bring the cook back to the study. Mr. Body's body was gone. Then Mrs. Peacock stumbled into the room with Body on her body because Body had been bludgeoned by the bathroom in his bean with a lead pipe.
By whom?
Mr. Green in the billiard room with the lead pipe.
Preposterous.
I found your disgusting hanky just outside the bathroom in the billiard room, right where Mrs. Peacock was attacked by Mr. Body the second time he died. And it was your lead pipe that was found in the skull. You couldn't stand the thought of Body getting away with it, so you bashed his brains out.
Don't be ridiculous. I can't even stand the sight of blood. It wasn't me.
That's when we decided to destroy the evidence in Body's briefcase.
But the briefcase was empty.
Correct. The evidence Body had been holding against us was gone.
That's when we decided to lock away the murder weapons and ran to the front door to throw away the key. To the hall.
We opened the door and discovered the motorist.
Who got killed in the lounge?
But who killed him? The lounge was locked.
It was Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench.
I never lounge.
You stole the key to the broom closet, grabbed the wrench, and did the deed.
I did not. I didn't even know the man.
Professor Plum takes out Mustard's medallion and reads,
To Colonel Mustard, your driver for life, Mike the motorist.
Give me that.
Plus, I found you lurking conspicuously in the conservatory. The scarlet flowers opened the secret passage to the lounge, but if I remember correctly, scarlet flowers always have 5 petals. This one only had 4, meaning you had already plucked a petal to the passage to the lounge where you pummeled the motorist to death with the wrench.
Nah, never underestimate what you can do with a wrench, Mustard.
I know. How do you think I fixed the sink?
Next, the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Doorbell. And the cop arrived.
The cop that got killed in the library?
It was Miss Scarlet in the library with the candlestick.
I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah? Then how'd the cop wind up decapitated? And why'd I find your cigarette holder in those stack of books in the library?
Oh, give me a break. You found my cigarette holder before that cop even arrived.
So you admit you were in the library. What were you doing? Plotting a murder?
How could I plot the murder of a cop I didn't even know was coming?
I rest my case.
I didn't kill him, but I do know who killed the singing telegram girl.
Ooh, you do?
You do?
It was Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
But how could I? Yvette had the gun when she shot the lounge door.
Yes, she did.
But when the cop arrived, she passed it to you when we ran to the front door, hiding it in that stupid French hat of yours. I found it when we were searching the house.
Proves nothing.
Maybe we should slow things down.
we see a slow replay showing Yvette plainly putting the revolver into Professor Blum's hat.
Then you shot the singing telegram girl before she could finish her camp rolls. Wonder what kind of dirt she had on you. Bet she was an old patient of yours or something, right?
I've never seen this girl before in my life. This is ridiculous. It wasn't me.
I know. It was Mrs. White with the rope in the ballroom.
I'd rather die.
I saw how you cringed when you came in tonight and noticed Yvette. You mentioned that your third husband was an electrician. Stands to reason you'd know your way around an electrical panel, so it was you who switched off the lights and strangled Yvette with a rope.
Did not. I mean, yes, I'll admit it. I recognized Yvette. She had a torrid love affair with my husband. I hated her so much. It flames from the side of my face, heaving breaths
What?
of flames.
Mrs. What?
But I didn't kill her.
So, in summation,
Thank God.
it was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger, Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench, Ms. Scarlet in the library with the candlestick, Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver, Mrs. White in the ballroom with the rope, and Mr. Green in the billiard room with the lead pipe.
Wait a minute. Wait. There's still one thing I don't understand.
Just one?
Wadsworth suddenly produces the revolver and points it at the guests.
Okay, now two.
Freeze. Nobody move.
But how did you?
Wadsworth.
You can call me Wadsworth if you want to.
Well, that's your name, isn't it?
You all thought it was Mr. Body who was killed tonight, but that's impossible.
He bled all over me.
But it wasn't Body who was bleeding.
Who was it? But if Body wasn't Body, then who was it?
He was Wadsworth, my butler.
You're Mr. Body.
Oh.
I want to thank you all for killing off my network of spies and informers, which you all did splendidly. By the way, and of course, as an added bonus of our evening together, is that now I have each one of you on the hook for murder.
Murder.
But the police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this.
Why should the police come?
Oh my Lord.
Of course.
What?
Nobody's called them. The police were never on their way.
Oh, because it's.
So here's what we're gonna do, kids. We're gonna stack those bodies in the cellar. We're gonna lock the cellar door, and then we're gonna leave here quietly, one at a time, and forget that any of this ever happened.
I can't forget all this.
Oh, I almost forgot the best part. Now with murder on the menu, the price of blackmail has just tripled. Now move.
Wait a minute. We can all rush him. He's got no more bullets left in that gun.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't think I'm gonna fall for that old trick, do you?
It's not a trick. There was one shot at Mr. Body in the study, 2 for the cat, 2 at the lounge door, and 1 for the singing telegram.
That's not 6.
1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
No. There was only one shot that got the cat. That's 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Even if you were right, that would be 1 + 1 + 2 + 1, not 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Oh, okay, fine. 1 + 2. Well, look, shut up, all right? The point is, there's 1 bullet left in this gun, and anybody who moves is gonna get it.
So you're going to keep blackmailing us, and we're supposed to just pretend that this never happened? Is that the plan?
Of course, why not?
I'll tell you why not.
Mr. Green draws his gun.
What?
Mr. Green, FBI? That's sniveling Stooge? Did you see that coming? No, you didn't. Neither did I. Ushers, unlock the doors!
We're talking to the audience, Wadsworth. Or should I call you Mr. Body? The jig is up.
You're really FBI?
That's right. The real Mr. Green got a letter just like each of you did, only he came to the Bureau to ask us for help. Apparently, I'm a dead ringer for Mr. Green, I took his place here tonight so that we could run the sting operation.
Some sting! 6 people died on your watch, not to mention the poor cat.
You got me there, but they had to use me. The real Mr. Body here knew what Mr. Green looked like, and I usually work in the Hartford office and property crimes, theft and fraud and the like. But I've gotten pretty good at the art of pickpocketing, and that's how this envelope marked confidential ended up with me here tonight instead of any of you.
Oh my.
You had the evidence?
It's all here. We had our suspicions of what we might find, but we never thought it would be this rich.
Oh, let me see that.
Back off. Take a look, shall we? I have here first is Miss Scarlett's accounting book. It comes complete with a list of clients. And no wonder you wanted to kill the cop, because he's listed right here on your payroll.
Give me that.
Get back. Then we have this love letter addressed to Professor Plum.
Hey, that's private property.
Seems that the singing telegram girl happened to be the underage daughter of the head of the U.S. Department of Social Sciences. She looks like she was just about to come clean to Daddy, and Daddy would have certainly cleaned out Professor Plum. Guess that's why you killed her.
Now, see here.
And these negatives. Colonel Mustard, you were quite the regular at Miss Scarlett's establishment, weren't you? Guess you wouldn't have gotten to keep your important military title if your old driver, the unfortunate motorist that stopped by here tonight, would have blabbed where he took you every Tuesday night to your Major General.
I just wanted somebody to talk to.
That's a real Democratic way to put it.
Well, I am a Republican.
And poor Mrs. Peacock. Here's your Bible.
The Bible has a secret compartment.
It's got a secret compartment in here so you can store all the cash from all your bribes. If only the cook hadn't told Mr. Body about it, maybe she'd still be alive today.
God forgives all.
And Mrs. White, you weren't lying, were you? You really did hate Yvette.
So much flames! Flames from the side of my face!
Here's a container with all the fingerprints from all your previous crime scenes.
I never murdered my husband's.
Fingerprints, I'm sure they'll be able to match to the ones on the rope that came from around Yvette's neck.
I wore gloves.
You mean these?
Well, damn.
And last, but certainly not least, Mr. Body.
It's Robert.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that is good. That's
I
good.
hold in my hand here the file on the entire Body family. I can, your butler, Wadsworth, he's been feeding us information for months. I can see why you wanted to kill him. Your shot missed him in the study, though, and he wisely played dead. Pretty good actor, too. He had me fooled. But you found him when we were taking the cook back from the kitchen and bringing him to the study, and you bludgeoned him to death with the lead pipe that I dropped in the hallway. And you left him for dead, propped up in the bathroom for poor Mrs. Peacock to find moments later.
Oh, you swine!
The Body family has been wanted for decades for organized crime, blackmail, and murder for generations. They've always seemed to elude the law until now. Tonight, the Body family business has reached a dead end.
Why don't you leave my family out of this?
Woo! Woo!
rotting and slain and dust. I'm food for worms. I'm not dead. I'm close. Almost there. Probably another 32 or so seconds, give or take. Yep, here we go. I'm gone.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well, not dead just yet.
Oh my.
No.
Success.
Goodness.
I tell you guys, this is the most exciting evening I've had in a really long time.
It was.
Oh.
It was.
Two agents
Tuesday
burst
night
through the
at
front
Smith's
door
Tavern.
as a reporter
You're all under
followed.
arrest.
Oh.
Boys,
The police?
yeah, here's all the criminals that you've been looking for and the evidence against them. Oh, and there's some tapes over in the billiard room that you might find interesting too.
Oh, the tapes.
All right, who done it?
Kid.
He did.
Kid.
She
They
did.
all did. But if you want to know who killed Mr. Body, I did in the hall with a revolver.
It's true. It is true.
Now, I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
Poor thing.
Oh my. That was too much. Too much.
End recording, Dave.